Top of the day to you here in the cellar. I have been talking to y'all in my head all morning long. It took everything in me to calm down, right? Because I was so excited. My inner child gets so happy with sharing information as well as doing what I came here to do, right? So my inner child just gets riled up and she's excited and she just wants to, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because when I was younger, right? When I was younger, I had stage fright, right? And over the years, I've gotten much better than what I was, right? But someone about 3 weeks ago was like, "Can you talk about PTSD with the spiritual part, post traumatic spiritual dis hyphen order?" And there's a lot of effects of going through spiritual wars, and you have to remember that spiritual wars don't just start because you get into your practices or you learn something new and you try some new things. It doesn't just start there. It has started since you took a breath. Okay, before you even got here, there was a war. Before you even planted your feet on the ground, there were things that were designed to test you, challenge you, distract you, distort you, get you into a place where you are not fully who you are and knowing that you are whole, separate, and unique. Things that are designed to keep you from, living in your truth and being the authentic you that you came to be, right? So there are many different um, forms of post traumatic spiritual disorder, right? And the thing about it is, you have to figure out how it shows up in your life. For instance, if you were born into a family that you came to break some type of generational curse or stronghold, and you are having an issue with that, and because it's designed to break you, it's designed to take you down, it's designed to have you not be who you came here to be. And so you go through all these different things on different levels, facing different devils, right? And so what happens is, without proper mentorship or proper resources, sometimes people just get stuck in that space. And so then they have to, in a sense, spiritually, they pass the torch to someone who may come after them because they give up on their journey. So instead of going through all of the different ways that it shows up and all of the different modalities that can be used to identify it and all those things, I'm gonna keep it real cute. So while I was at the store, because we have a to do that I'll discuss that is going to be daily until the new moon, which it all makes sense now that I thought about it while I was getting ready. I was like, that makes sense that I'm doing this on this day and in this time. All right, so PTSD. I was in my car and I had to pull this out my trunk because I was like, I ain't got no paper, and so I had to whatever. All right, so the post traumatic spiritual syndrome disorder has a lot to do with, um, you know, oftentimes you're unsure, you get turned around, you come into a space, is it worth it? All of these things, right? There's a lot of trauma that you may have gone through, but it's not like you can't grow through it. I'm here to empower you to say, yes, you the fuck can. Okay. And so and here in this house, we do recognize, defeat, and prevent. And so to recognize the post-traumatic spiritual disorder, you want to know what it is that caused any type of confusion, any delusion, or what was the intrusion, and how are the intrusive thoughts, emotions, and feelings, how are these things affecting your will? Because will connected to the logic, connected to reason, right? Really all the same. But those connected to reason without the emotion, because you put the emotion in later, you don't put the emotion in right off. So when it comes to you being very focused and not going left or right, looking left or right, not getting turned around, not being confused under a space of illusion or delusion, recognizing things for what they are, how can they affect you? They affected you then, but why is it that when you think something, feel something, experience something with people, places, and situations, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Are you in fight or flight? Like, these are the things that are very important to recognize, because these are the things that can have you stuck in putting yourself in a mental cycle that attack, right, on your bloodline was designed to do, because so many before you may have failed when they got to that point, right? Um, Now it can show up also in the people, places, and things, right? So you have to really identify that, and this is how you defeat it. So the way that you defeat it, of course, like I said, it's about your will. It's about your making up your mind to not be stagnant, complacent, or really connecting. Right? You defeat it by connecting to the Most High, and especially with the challenge. Well, not a challenge, but the to do that we're going to do these next 6 days. This is the first day. All right. So you want to um recognize how it shows up so that you'll be able to defeat it, affirm the opposite, and with affirmations come action, comes will, comes consistency, comes determination and discipline. Boom. All right. So the things, of course, like I said, that you can do to defeat it is name the issue. What needs to change mentally, what needs to change physically, what needs to change emotionally, right? What needs to change spiritually. All right. Because each level that you go up, regardless of the post traumatic spiritual disorder, each level that you go up, you will have new keys, because whatever it is that you learned in the process and you made it out of will allow for you to move forward until it's time for you to evolve even more. Some of you may be at a space where you don't have a lot of other things that you have to do, because you've come so far and broken so much and created so much, and you are standing in your truth and your authenticity, and you don't have any other major things that may be coming up or what have you. But the journey is well spent when we are experiencing everything, all things, all day, every day with joy, happiness, love, and grace. Boom. All right. So to prevent it, you got to stay ready to keep from getting ready. This is not about you being paranoid. This is about you being cautious, self-conscious, mentally conscious, physically conscious, and emotionally conscious. Okay. All right. I'm so glad that, hold on real quick. I'm so glad I'm not acting up, because I know when I be acting up and I just be keeping on doing it. You know that? All right. So that's how you prevent it. You want to audit to ensure that what is happening is real. What does it have, what does it have to do with? Why is it showing up again? That's the other part of post traumatic spiritual disorder or any PTSD. What happens is, if it comes back up and the way that it shows up, have you really grown from it? Where are you feeling it? Do you just think it? Do you just, are you just triggered by certain things? Like, what are your triggers? Because your triggers will change. You will be able to sustain your willpower when you recognize what it is that is really a deterrent, right? Notice what it connects to, right? People, places, and situations. Notice what it connects to. Oftentimes, we learn that people are so adamant about doing things in a certain type of way and experiencing certain types of things that may not even be good for them. Their higher self, they're not connected to it. So, of course, they are doing things in the sense of just doing and just being and thinking that that's the right flow. There's sacrifices that come along the way, and a sacrifice can be a way that you think, the people you are around, the places that you go, the job you work at. Those can be sacrifices. Sacrifices can be something grandiose, or it can be something very minute that will change the trajectory of your direction, your affection, your attention, and the way that you do things. Okay, I like this. Whatever. I'm telling y'all, I have been so excited since I got up. I had to go get some more eggs so I could, because we're doing lymphatic cleanses, right? And even saying lymphatic cleanses, people were thinking that I am this, that, or the other. And it's like, I do a number of practices, because if you've been with me on the channel for a while, you know that I'm a firm believer in there is one truth. And you are able to master one thing and be able to pull from other things in order for you to add those to your Ashe toolbox, all right? So the other thing is, it's very important that you focus your will. Your will has a lot to do with your spiritual power, your ability to channel that vital force energy to make things happen, do things, command things, move things out of the way. Um, you know, um, yeah, that. All right. So you want to align daily in the morning before the sunrise is very important. I have noticed that the enemy has been trying to deter me, because I told y'all some time ago that we're doing 12 to 3 prayers, 12 to 3 a.m. p.m. prayers, right? Because these are most powerful times of the day, depending on what you got going on, and praying to the east. And the thing about that is, the enemy came and tried to deter me from doing my warrior prayers from 12 to 3, right? And sometimes we can be our own enemy too, because if I'm already up at 9, because I've been getting up extra early here lately. So if I'm already up at 9 a.m., 9 p.m., sorry, sometimes I get a little tired, and it's like sometimes I will like really real live pass out at 11:55, wake up at 3. It's still going down, bitch, no matter. Right? So I would advise you and empower you, and not empower, but suggest that you do the same. It's never too late. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your path, and keep it moving, okay? Because even when you begin to yawn while you are in your warrior prayer mode, what happens is you are doing a lot of releasing, right? Whatever it is that was trying to attach to you, whatever it is that was trying to interfere with you, distract you, distort you, cause illusions, hallucinations, whatever the fuck it is, you have to go into it's important that you go into a space where you are releasing it and letting that go. PTSD on this from the spiritual warfare aspect, because spiritual warfare can be a number of things. It depends on who you talk to, right? There are people that really go through some real heavy shit. Then you got people who are just going through the stuff in their bloodline, and that's enough of a burden for them, right? To It's like, let's say addiction. The family is known for people are just they're addicted to something, right? And to break that, you would have to really focus your will. And oftentimes people think that just because that they defeated that one addiction, that they don't have to defeat the other ones, right? And so we go into realizing that it's more than one way, right? Because I know someone back in the day who beat like there was a lot of drug addicts, alcohol. They had a lot of substance abuse problems in their family, and they defeated that and really what made their way. And they are very, um, um, they are very well to do, because they defeated that aspect of things. But then they had this other area of their life that they don't even realize is also connected to addictions. So you really want to pay attention to what you have going on. I would suggest that you look at your north node, you look at your life path number, you look at your love language. Like, there's so much. And I do not have the um it would be a 4-hour video if I were to go into each one of those and show you how to um, master each one of those, right? Or pay attention to each one of those. So I'll just give you a couple of tips. So it's, of course, you want to look into your astrological chart on the main line, which is North and South Node. Of course, there are other aspects that may be important as well, because all of them connect to getting to your North Node, right? And the tools that you may be able to utilize, and when and how. That's why it's good to keep up with your astrological forecast moving forward. But once you get in alignment, things will come naturally to you. That's the other part. So you look into your North Node, your South Node. Look into your love language. It is very important. Look into these are look into astrology. The North Node, South Node, very important. The love language, very important. What was the other one I just said? Because I didn't write that down. Um, North Node, South Node. Oh, your life path number. All right, because you'll notice that all those things have a lot to do with one another. And as far as astrology as well, you want to also look at, I suggest Western and Vedic. But the thing about that is, because one you may resonate with more than the other, especially if you are more in your North Node. So the thing about it is, or you're closer to your North Node, or maybe it's just the location of where you live that has a huge impact on that, and the house number that you live in. There's a number of things. Okay, so when you look into those things, right, your life path, north, south node, and your love language, what you'll notice is the things that you do not do. So we are not worrying about what we don't do. We want to look into what is it that needs to be done? What is it that is yet to be mastered, that is showing up in our everyday life? We don't want to get ahead of the game, put the wagon in front of the horse, but we do want to be in a space where we are self-realizing on a regular basis. All right, so, or every 6 months, however you want to look at it, Pooh. Um, so that also goes into one of my very firm beliefs, right? I get on YouTube and discuss all of these things about um this sign do this, I be playing and shit. We be acting up, right? But the end all be all of that is we don't know a person unless we know them, right? Everyone has a different life path. Everyone has, of course, signatures of each of their placements in some aspect or another, depending on how you are dealing with them, what they are dealing with, all of those things, right? And how far they have evolved. But also, it's important to remember that it's important for us to get to know people instead of just going by their chart and all of that. Because if you go by their chart, like just say that you do go by somebody's chart, you may be missing out on some type of experience because you are already trying to, um, you may be trying to get ahead of the game with them or trying to manipulate them in some type of way. Maybe you're trying to, um, some people do lower their worth and their value based on this is what they like and blue blue blue. You don't know that because you're not getting to know them. You're getting to know their chart. You don't know where they are with this. You don't know what the traumas are that they experienced in their life that they haven't outgrown or have outgrown. Okay. The other thing that I want to say before we get into the cleanse that I recommend that is done, New Mexico. Before we get into the cleanse, the Shut Up and Kiss Me oil and the 90-day journey to mindfulness, you can purchase those and get a free reading if you want any type of clarity or on what it is that you have going on, what you need to focus on, whatever it is, right? Um, I will be offering ancestor readings in the near future, but I would suggest not purchasing that if you are not ready to do the work, like for real. All right, so we're going to do 7 days. We were starting today with this Lampia cleanse. And what I'm going to do is schedule you the next 6 days after this post. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. June 6th is the new moon. So this is a new begin. No, new moons are about getting rid of old stuff. So with doing this cleanse, this is really going to help you to really focus, right? Where are you lagging? Where are you lacking? Do you feel like you're standing in your purpose? Do you feel like you're standing in your truth? Do you feel like you're doing what it is that you came here to do? What nouns got to go, okay? Because that's what it's all about too. We are constantly ridding ourselves. Go back and read The Alchemist, the Four Agreements, the Five Agreements, the 48 Laws of Power, the Art of War. It took for me to find out at Barnes and Noble a few months ago that the Art of War has a lot of different renditions. I don't like it. It's discouraging. Oh, excuse me. It's discouraging. All right, so you're gonna cleanse your egg, right? This is just the basics I do suggest because I'm not here to give you all of the information. You look up how to do this and how to read it. All right, because we've talked about this before over the years, but we have talked about it here. But you're gonna want to go ahead and get you a egg, okay? And some of you may be in a space where you can't even eat eggs. It's meant for you. You're not meant to eat eggs. Probably Miss Alchemy is one of them. I do feel, but she'll have to get a consultation with someone to get a rogation done to see if she is supposed to. So you get you a tea light candle. You got your egg and you got your what glass of water. You want to make sure that it's as flat as possible. No, long what's the faces, right? So of course you talk to it. You can blow rum on it, right? 3 times. Blow smoke on it, right? To fill it with your intentions of what it is that you want to do. But the simple way, hold it and put your intentions into it, what it is that you want it to do, etc., et al. All right. You light your candle and focus your intent. Cleanse yourself from the top to the bottom. Make sure that you do the sign of the cross in the hands, your mouth of God. Ooh, I almost dropped it, bitch. Your mouth of God, your throat chop, everything. Hit everything, all right? And cleanse all of those things. And Santa Clara is a good one to um Santa Clara is a good one to use as an intercessor for this, right? So you want to ask your question, right? Clear me of all things. Maybe that's what the first thing that you do on this first day. Cleanse me of all things, all cloudiness, all fogginess. Show me what it is that you would have me see. I mean, see lie, right? Or whatever it is. I shade, whatever you say, okay? And you crack it in there, boom, and let it settle. Don't pick up the glass, just drop it, boom, crack it in there, and allow it to settle. If it settles to the bottom, more than likely there's nothing going on. But if it settles to the bottom and then there's bubbles and then there's balloons and all the things, You want to be mindful of that. Let the candle burn out. You can continue to pray and do your invocations or what have you, incantations, whatever it is that you do. I don't know your life. All right. So that's what, excuse me. So that's what this is going to be for the next few days. So I will have I'll schedule some posts um for the next until next Saturday, all right? And I'll check in with you all, of course, next Friday. If not before that, y'all know ain't no telling with me. All right. So this is going to really help you with your clarity. All right. And I will have different questions that you can ask, but I would like for you to journal these things. I wanted to, of course, create y'all a template, but I'm like, if I'm going to schedule these posts, that's going to be enough for me. Okay. Get your own paper and pen and figure it out. Make you a little template or something. Because I do like to create, but there are some things that go on behind the scenes that there's still like these little one twos to do, trying to, it's a lot. What information do you have here for all of us here on this beautiful day of clarity? Gaia, a number 40, stability moving into. So this is a good time to move more into this. This is a good time to open up to all the possibilities and being able to ask for the actions and the information that is necessary. We really doing this right now, y'all. Like for real. All right. I'm not complaining because I have been through so much. I am not complaining. I refuse to complain. That's one of the main things. I refuse to complain because sometimes people feel like I'm just so tired, right? I've been there, done that. I'm so tired of going through this. And it's like, you know what? It goes back to, if not you, then who? It goes back to look at what you've come through. Look at what you've made it through. Look at what you've gone through. And it wasn't all for nothing, because it solidifies what it is. It solidifies your beliefs. It solidifies your path. It solidifies the reason why your will to continue to move forward is so important. Calm down. You got serious right there. All right. So it's the right time, or soon will be, for things to come together for you. Hello. If there's something that you really believe in but have been waiting for a long time to bring to life to succeed, here's good news. That's something that's beginning to stir. Okay, and at the right time, hold. All right, the things are going to fall into place. There's a bigger question of divine timing about these matters, and it is not that you are or are not doing something right. Do not give up, but do give in to the wise timing of the earth mother, who knows how to grow all souls, all things, and perfect fullness of divine expression. One thing about the earth mother, Gaia, the ground, the land, the ancestral connection, the one thing about this grounded reality, when you are consciously grounded in this reality, it makes it easier for you to maneuver through the realms. And that's another thing that causes spiritual psychosis for many people, because they try to tap into higher realms and do things that they were not led to do. They just want to try something and do something, and it gets them confused. So what happens is, there's a part of they are consciously in two different realms. I am a firm believer, you ain't got to believe me, but I'm a firm believer that we have a number of realms that we are, a number of parallel realms that we are living in, right? However, some people get caught up and want to go and explore all of these other realms, and then they do not give a time frame, or of how long they will go into those realms, what they are going for, what is the intention of going into that realm, what is it that you are bringing back here, that abstract thing that you are bringing back here in order to create it and manifest it and bring it to this reality, is very important to remember when going into trying to dive into these things, right? That's why I was kind of skeptical about doing the mediumship 101, because I got to know who I'm dealing with, right? I need to know what's happening within each person. And I know that that's impossible for me to do, because there were many people there, everybody going through different things, but they actually needed other things aside from what it is that they were coming to that class for. But sometimes people dive into the realms and they get stuck. So most of their consciousness is stuck in another realm, a realm that is high. It's like they break off. And what happens is when you try to have conversations with them or try to explain things to them or trying to understand where they are coming from, they're in different realms, so they cannot fully and logically present the information that they are trying to convey to you in a way that has to do with this time and space, right? And so that goes into my personal belief about all people are not textbook what they're saying that they are. Um, that's just what that is. So, knowing the difference between the realm that you are in and the realm that you are traveling to, or even when you receive downloads, it's important to be grounded. This is the importance of being grounded with Mother Earth, the heart of all things. All right. It's a heart chakra energy, the earth, okay? And it has a lot to do with what we give is what we receive, but also to the earth and the land. Something new is being hatched. You may wonder if you are imagining it. Ooh, if the idea of startling and beautiful change is just a foolish fantasy. Gaia comes to tell you that the newness is real. New life is forming, and when the time is right, it is going to spring forth as something amazing. What is needed is some patience, care, and willingness to trust in what is happening. Trust in what is happening. Very important. The sacred ritual says, imagine that you have a precious invisible egg. Okay, Gaia. A precious invisible egg which holds a precious new life within it. Ooh. This egg exists deep in your soul. Speak to it in soft, loving, cooing tone. All right. Tell this egg how much you love it. I love you so much. You're so precious. You're so beautiful. You're so unique. You're so valuable. You're priceless. Okay, bitch. Go there. Okay. How grateful you are for it, how grateful that is that you know it's going to come to life. This is bringing it to fruition. Then imagine that egg glowing in soft golden tones as it receives your loving tones. The more you talk to it, it begins to glow and come to life, and you begin to see the breath of it, feel the breath of it, feel the heartbeat of it. All right, knowing that it is yours for the taking. It is yours, it's given to you in order for you to bring it here. So let me say it again because Lovely Bird's nest on my ass the last time. Okay, I do appreciate y'all feedback for real. Um, and I do take constructive criticism, but I can read between the lines if it's some bullshit. Just letting you know. All right, so imagine that you have a precious invisible egg which holds a precious new life within it. This egg exists deep in your soul. Speak to it in a soft, loving, cooing tone. Tell this egg how much you love it, how grateful you are that it is going to come to life. Then imagine that egg glowing in soft golden tones as it receives your loving tones. Okay? All right, I'm finna get up out of here in a second. Okay, so this is very important because we got shit to do. I don't care how small it is. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too big. Nothing is too small. So you have to really, give your attention and intention to that. Don't look left or right because that's one of the tricks of the enemy to try and get you to not believe in yourself, not do the best that you can with where you are and how you are, not be in a space where um, you're putting your best foot forward and you are, moving with gentleness, ease, and grace, the things that we discuss often. And here in the cellar, it's very important that we are clear on what we are going through, what shadow work or where are we with that? What um, things need to be realized in the darkness of a certain situation? Because oftentimes people only have a piece of darkness. Everything is not dark, right? They don't have a cloud over them or what have you, right? Everything is not dark, all right? So it's very important to just get in alignment as often as possible and just know that your feet will be guided where it is that they need to. Create words and affirmations that rhyme because rhyming does help the subconscious remember things. And also, the way that you make those things rhyme has a lot to do with how it absorbs those things, or how do you speak to your subconscious, or that emotional space of consciousness that connects to the super consciousness that will allow for you to receive the answers and information. And this is even restructuring the way that your subconscious delivers things to you, information to you, in a sense that will allow for you, it will allow for you to regenerate regularly, right? Because your subconscious needs to know that that old way, that old pattern, that old cycle is over and done with. That's a karmic board clearing. I'm no longer there. And there are, I think there's board clearings, karmic release or something like that on YouTube. I don't know. All right. Because, in the past, I was like, oh, no, y'all can, I would say stuff. I'd be like, y'all can Google it until Miss Ray told me, she was like, I done tried to Google some of the shit you said. I couldn't find it. Which leads me to my next point. I know that a lot of people are in a space where they don't want to have books. They don't want to bring books into their home. It's just too much paper. It's more convenient to look at things online. I came to the realization that a lot of the books that are online, that have a lot of information, you will experience the Mandela effect with those books. They are going to, now I could be lying, but for years, I've been told, and I've told y'all, that it's important that we write things down and we also read books, paperback, hardback books. They are going to um, start changing what's in books. It's not hard to do, child, especially when it comes to certain information. You're also going to start seeing where people are saying, I don't know why they, like, they'll be sharing esoteric information, occult information, what have you, and people are going to start saying, I don't know why in my video that was blurred out, because eventually it's going to be that that's something that is harming people or some shit like that, right? Look at the attacks that have come on this channel and other channels when it comes to sharing information. All right. So of course, get it in writing, bitch. Get the paperback if you can, especially those things that are going out of style, so to speak. Because when they're what do you call it? When they restore them, not restore them, but when they bring them back after so many, many, many years, a publisher may bring them back. It won't be as matter of fact as the ones that were created by certain people. They're gonna start changing stuff, but that I could be lying. All right. The other thing that I found out um, was, well, not found out, but the other thing that I came across this on YouTube. Um, the book thing and all that, I came across that in the astral. But the book thing, about this is what they're creating now. Remember, I told y'all that I don't know about this AI stuff, right? And of course, I'm older, and I now realize that I know exactly what people were going through when I was younger. When I tried to show them stuff, and they were like, "Oh, I don't know nothing about that. That right there, that don't seem right. We in the end times." So, oh, excuse me. So, I came across a 60 minutes thing about AI, and I thought, let me look at this. I'm really tired, but let me look. And I just looked at, somebody did the timestamps in the comments. Well, 60 minutes did the timestamps in the comments, and I saw where it said being able to talk to people from the past in a hologram. So they have where you can sit and have a conversation with a hologram. They didn't go into the specifics of how the information is placed in the hologram, because I remember they doing that one lady, I forget her name, Sonia, Sylvia, something like that. I don't remember, but they did a robot of her talking and discussing things about her life and all of these things. So there was some Holocaust holograms that they were talking to. I found it quite interesting. You see, they're coming out with this about Neuralink and all these things that have to do with consciousness. Consciousness. They're saying they're going to present. Of course, they're presenting it in one way, but we do understand when it comes to the work that we do, um, they are making it where they have information technology, and I'm pretty sure many of you may have seen it or know about it, or maybe you picked it up in the astro many years ago. But there are many people who have been that have come before us, which I really love um, reading and getting information from people who may have done that, like they're not here anymore, because I feel as though it was their life work instead of going through with listening and viewing things from people who come across the information and present it and all of those things, right? Without any firm foundation of what is happening, what is going on, who is this person, right? And oftentimes, when I read something from back then, it affirms something within me because it's in alignment with the things that I've already discussed and the things that have come to me. It's like a torch being passed in some sense, right? Or just being from that collective energy is what it. That's why I say where you're led, you are fed. So I'm led to a lot of course, you are too, led to a lot of people, places, and situations and things that have come many, many moons ago. Many moons. Those who live when there were many moons in sight. Now, made my ass itch right there. So, the realm that they are connecting to get this information and hold on to, there's a connection to the spiritual realm, but it's that spiritual realm um, that is, it's a cross between that energetic impression of the soul, the person. Because you know what? They're going to find out a lot of these holograms will be able to say stuff that the person never shared with anybody but possibly one person. And if they shared it with that one person, never shared it with anyone else, how the fuck would you know that? Like, how would you know? How would that hologram know if I asked them, how old were you when you started your menstruation? That's not something that they probably share because that was insignificant to a Holocaust survivor in most cases with the things that they've discussed and written about in their books, unless it was just a pivotal moment or highlight that connects them to um, things that happened right after their period. Like, how would that cross up in there? But I do find it interesting. I'm not going to keep up with it either because by the time I leave up out of here, I want to be done did my part and not get caught up in too much of anything that I don't have no control over that. I can't do nothing but bring awareness to it, but I don't have any control over that. Do you? Like whoever has control over that or can create some type of, I don't know, child. What do you have here before we go? Give them a self care some rest. Taking time out to really chill the fuck out. Um, what does rest look like to you? What does it feel like to you? How do you feel once you've gotten some real rest? Because we can go to sleep and wake up and feel like we are not well rested. Well rested has a lot to do with that the energy that you embody the moment you wake up. You'll feel it if you're well rested. You'll know it. It's just a natural. Well rested has a lot to do with I went and did what I had to do and now I'm back. Basically. All right. 43, moving into a 7. So there is something that you will be assessing for, moving into a 3, creating a 7. Getting real nice and stable, letting people know, turning off your phone with that 3, who you will give your attention to, but also connecting the mind, body, and the spirit, connecting to the 3 realms, grounding the 3 realms in order for you to assess what needs to be done and letting things go in your rest and your sleep, not holding on to things. That's why it's also important that you forgive where needs to be forgiven. You'll probably never forget, but you do have the right to forgive and move on with your life, move on with your journey. So there may be some of that going on as well, but something is coming to a completion. It's time for you to get some rest, take some time out for yourself. What information do you have here? Whatever that means to you. Your dream journal. There it is. Getting rest and then journaling. And also um paying attention to your dreams over these next 6 days, 7 days. Well, today is the 7th day, so the 6 days will follow. Paying attention to the days, what happens throughout your day, what happens in your dream state, but also how does it connect to your dreams, your goals? You see, this is soft life duality moving into a 0, soaking a bath. That's going to be important as well. That adds to what I forgot to write on the paper from earlier. I meant to write on that. Taking your spiritual baths is, you don't have to do all the to-dos that many of us have to do. It can just be a regular, which I remember being normal like that. I call that, well, now there's a new normal. So what is normal? But I remember being able to just take a honey bath. They used to have these honey and milk baths. It was really big. It was like a jug at Walmart back in the day when I used to go to Walmart. I don't go to that place no more. Okay, I don't feed certain beasts, so I'm just you got to choose your poison. So they had this honey and milk bath, and it just made me feel. I remember feeling so good. It was my early 20s. I remember feeling so good when I took those baths. I remember feeling just so, it brings your sensuality back. It brings um your softness. Not only is your skin soft, but you just feel softer. Like whatever happened, it's gone now, bitch. Whatever I was mad about, I ain't mad no more. Okay? Because I do remember having um post postpartum depression, and I didn't know what that was, right? And nobody really told me. They just would go against whatever it is that I thought or whatever that I'm going through. Oh, you strong, you a blah 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 blah. Big pressure, right? So those baths would really help me a lot when I got a hold of those. So whatever your baths are, whatever it is that you are allowing yourself to be, do, or what have you, you can also take your tea light candle and sit with your intentions in that bath as well. But I wanted to add about detoxing, keeping it light this week. All right. If usually you are very heavy on lunch or dinner, for the clarity, you're going to have to keep it light. Drink lots of fluids, especially if you do any type of weed or what have you. Drink lots of fluids. Keep it light this week. Don't eat and drink things that make you feel heavy, take you out of being the master of your surroundings. It's very important because you want to be clear. You want to show up clear in clarity, but you also want to be able to receive things with clarity and not overstep your boundaries, as well as not allowing others to overstep your boundaries physically, mentally, or spiritually. All right. I'm Lulu. All right. Thank you for being here in the cellar, and I will talk to you in about a minute. Okay. Bye, y'all.